Coming up, Mr. Lopez. Yet another terroristic threat. Let's go through your criminal history, Mr. Lopez. 2012, burglary habitation. 15, assault, bodily injury. 15, criminal mischief. 20, criminal mischief. 16, criminal mischief. 17, suspended license. 18, interference with emergency request for assistance. 22, kidnapping. 24, aggravated assault of a family member. Terroristic threat, evading arrest, terroristic threat, and now another terrorist. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Please.
On February 25th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a residence at 2715 Owen Cross Drive in Harris County, Texas. The complainant stated that in the first week of February, the defendant snuck into the residence via the garage door, and that she had been telling the defendant that he does not live at the residence and has to leave the location, but the defendant refuses to leave. The complainant, who's the mom, has been staying with complainant 2, the daughter, or the complainant 1's daughter, the defendant's sister, at a different location because they fear the defendant. On 2/25, the daughter came to the location to retrieve the dog. The complainants had a verbal altercation about the dog being missing and the defendant wanting money from them. The defendant then threatened to harm both complainants, saying, "I'm going to beat the shit out of y'all. All y'all do is send me to jail. I'm going to beat y'all's ass up. I'm going to beat you up." The complainants advised that they are fearful for their lives due to the defendant's threats and his history of violence.
So we do have a history of violence where there are threats and aggravated assault against this family.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lopez, they are terrified of you. The thing that you also need to consider is that you are a true habitual. So if you pick up a very serious felony, you could be very well looking at 25 to life. You know what I mean? 25 to life. You pick up a serious case. These are the things that you need to think about when they're out there in the free world. Do you understand?
Sir.
I don't want you going within 1,000 feet of where they live or where they work. You will get a GPS monitor if you are able to bond out. I don't know. At this point, you have not made bond, so I don't know if you're going to get out. But if you do, you must have a monitor on you, and I don't want you to go anywhere near where they live, where they work, where they breathe, where they put their head down, and you're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
You know, I would venture a guess that probably 98% of the people that are in Harris County jail, and I don't know if I've told you this before, but are there because they have absolutely no self-control. They get upset and they wig out without thinking, if I say this, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? This is what you should be thinking about every time you're out there. Do you understand? It's not hard, really. You're also not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. So counsel, at this point, he's not made bond. We can just set you out for a couple weeks, wait for the evidence to come in. If he does get out, he needs to be here the next business day for all the conditions. And then I definitely want a GPS prior to release.
Understand, Your Honor.
Okay? Self-control. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, we have an arraignment.
Marcus Leonard. Good morning, Your Honor.
It's not a good morning. No, you are using my name on an occupational license and you're not in compliance with what you're supposed to be doing. It's unacceptable. If I find that it happens again, I'm going to yank it. I want to make sure that you're not using while my name is on the license. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to make sure that you're not using, and then if I don't know what I'm going to do, the first thing I want to send you for a drug test to make sure, and then we'll go from there. So we'll send you and then we'll have you come back.
Yes, sir.
This is who, Judge?
No, don't worry about it. I'll have
Okay,
tutorial.
thank you.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Um, I am.
You at TSU?
Yes, I am a property manager. I'm in grad school getting a master's in counseling, and previously
Great.
I was an adjunct professor last semester.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. You're doing great. You know, just we all fall down, you know, we all make mistakes, but the idea is that just no more, right? Especially when it endangers other people, right? Don't say anything. No, don't. Just, you're doing great. Why mess it up? You know what I mean? You're doing really good. So we're not going to do anything with you now. We'll let you keep going. Just don't forget to blow anymore. If it happens again, I'm going to yank it. You understand? No, now's not the time, because the problem is that I don't want you to say something that hurts you. You know what I mean? You've got a license. There's requirements with the license for you to have it. If you don't fulfill those requirements, I can't keep the license, you know?
Received.
Okay. I'll let you speak with Shatoria, and then Shatoria can always, you know, kind of be the in between. Okay. If there's any issue. Good morning, Mr. Cooley. Mr. Cooley, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. So.
On February 21st, 2025, an officer observed a white Nissan Sentra without a front license plate. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant driver. The officer observed the odor of marijuana. The defendant admitted to having a cigar blunt with marijuana inside the vehicle. A probable cause search was conducted. The officer observed an electronic scale in the front driver's side door panel, a full cigar with marijuana inside tucked near the passenger seat and center console, and a large plastic bag containing approximately 1.06 ounces of marijuana on the passenger floorboard. The officer found a box of sandwich-sized Ziploc bags and one separate Ziploc bag containing marijuana residue. The defendant was identified with his Louisiana ID.
Can you run him to see if he has a Texas driver license, please?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Cooley, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. So the only condition I'm putting on you at this time is you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you understand?
Sir.
If you do not have either, then you're not allowed to drive. And I'm making that a condition of your bond. If I find that you do, then I will put you in jail. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
Lawyer.
Okay, I need you to fill out an application for me to see whether you qualify. So Deputy Echigoin is going to give you an application. I'll have you fill it out. I'll take a look at it. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, though. You understand? Okay.
So nothing is copied.
So you do not have you don't have a Texas driver license. So you're not allowed to drive. This is an affidavit that you're going to be signing with me today. I don't care what's going on in your life, Mr. Cooley. I don't care that you have to go to work. I don't care that the baby has to go to the hospital. If you don't have a license and insurance, do not drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and I will scream with joy taking this off for you. But until that point, don't. All right, I'm going to have you swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria for your sign your reset, and then Deputy Echigoin will give you an application. All right, please. So you got appointed to Mr. Cooley this morning, right?
Yes, Judge. Case, I wanted to see if we can hear PC on this one.
Okay, please.
5, an officer observed a white Nissan Sentra without a front license plate. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant driver. The officer observed the odor of marijuana. The defendant admitted to having a cigar blunt with marijuana inside the vehicle. A probable cause search was conducted. The officer observed an electronic scale in the front driver door panel, a full cigar with marijuana inside tucked in near the passenger seat and center console, and a large plastic bag containing approximately 0.016 ounces of marijuana.
You ready for it? All right, Judge. So in Texas, we can't distinguish between hemp and marijuana. The only thing that distinguishes it is a concentration of THC in the substance. We don't have a lab report. He could easily have said, hey, it's marijuana, thinking it's marijuana, but if it's hemp, it's not illegal to have it. He could be under a mistake of fact or a mistake of law. So he doesn't know. He didn't give him, hey, here's a lab report of the substance that's in there. They don't have a lab report. They can't tell me if that's marijuana or if it's hemp, which is legal. It could be either one of those substances.
I think that there's probably a totality of circumstances and not to mention the admission that makes it enough for probable cause to go forward. Now, if the lab report comes back and there's something different, okay. But for probable cause purposes, I think that there's enough to go forward.
Without the lab, just being clear, we don't have a lab at this time.
I think that there's enough to go
Okay,
forward.
understood. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
All right, have a seat, Mr.